And welcome back to the Plus 3 Podcast, episode 3.
I like how high your voice
How's
was.
that?
We made it.
How's that for excited?
Ian?
So, guys, you may hear some differences in our voices because we learned how to do sound properly, and now Tina has a brand new mic.
Yes, I'm not poor.
Oh, wow. This is going to be great. We're all professionals now. Everything is awesome.
Oh my god, it feels so good. It feels so good.
And next week, we will live stream it on Twitch on Evan's channel.
So we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, so
It's a wrap.
the plan is we're going to live stream the next one, so that'll be episode 4. I'll be streaming it on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/zvan92. I'll put a link down in the description below. Mm-hmm. Follow the channel. You can't subscribe yet because I'm not an affiliate, but I'm working on it. Anyway, follow the channel and you'll be notified of when we are going live. Follow me on Twitter as well, zvan92 Twitch. And that's the last of my plugs I'll do.
Wow, Evan. Thanks so much.
Yeah, so this whole podcast is about me and my Twitch channel. Anyway, let's get into it. What do you have for us, John?
Actually, Evan, you know what? How was your day today?
Oh, my day was it was all right. I'm feeling a little wired right now because I had a coffee at 8 p.m., which is not something I really ever do.
It's actually his bedtime, folks. 8 p.m.
Yeah, if there's one thing you got to know about me is that I'm usually clocked out by 8 p.m. and I'm just miserable and I'm old. I need my 12 hours sleep, right? So
just sleeping for 12 hours.
Oh yeah.
You're in it to win it, Evan.
I'm in it to win it. Follow me on Twitch. Okay, John.
Yeah, so this week I played two new games. The first game I want to talk about is Project Warlock. It was developed by Buckshot Software. It was made by, I believe, an 18-year-old. Just one guy. And man, this game is fucking great. It's so good. It reminds me so much of like Doom or like Wolfenstein, like back in the day, like 95, Windows 95 days. And the graphics are all like pixelated. Like everything that this guy did to this game, like to the artwork, is just, it's phenomenal. It's super cool.
So he did the design, the graphics, and the programming?
I think so.
Is there a story to it, or is it just pure?
The story, like, there's no like cutscenes or anything like that. It's like it plays like the first Doom, where like once you beat like, you know, the act, like the 5 acts or whatever, then you get a screen with like a cool artwork, and it's just like the text kind of goes onto the screen, and it tells you like, oh, this guy killed the demon, and now you have to go to this world and blah blah blah. So they're like all the story of it all is just based like on like through text, which like I don't really mind, honestly. The whole point of the game is just like it's the gameplay. It's fucking cool.
I took a look at it briefly, one of the videos he posted there, and yeah, it looks pretty sick. It's also got like a Hexen vibe to it, I find. Yeah,
it's like a mixture of like, yeah, it reminds me a lot of Hexen and like Doom. It just like, it's super fast paced. It's kind of, I feel like maybe it's like a roguelike, where once you like kill enemies and stuff, you get XP. When you collect gold, that you get XP as well, and then you level up, you get perks that you can spend on yourself, so you can like raise your stats, so like power, your health, all that stuff. And then you also get these upgrade perks for your weapons, so you can upgrade, like, let's say your pistol, and you can turn it into a 50 caliber pistol. And like a lot of times, like those old, like some games, like once you get a pistol and then, you know, you use it, and then once you get the shotgun, you never go back to your pistol.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You actually, like, I've been using the pistol a lot lately because it's super strong. Like I feel like almost every weapon has an effect on the game. Like you never just like, oh, I'm never going to use this gun again. Like I even use the melee weapons, which I feel are kind of overpowered, but it's a cool concept. And then also you get like these magic abilities. So you start off with the first magic ability. You get like this flare in your hand, and it lights up the whole room. So like when you go into a dark room, you can just use it. But then you eventually unlock, like you can find new magic spells, and you can purchase them in the warehouse, which I'll get to that. But the one thing I want to mention about the magic spells is that the upgrades that you can use for your weapons are also based for the magic spells. So let's say you had like, you want to upgrade your shotgun and it takes four upgrade perks, but then you also want a free like a magic spell that freezes all the enemies in the level, like in the room, but that also charges you 4 upgrade points. You have to choose which one you want first. Like that's the weird thing about it. Like it's the one thing I don't really care for is like, okay, well, like I kind of wish the magic spells had separate perks or like skill points so you can upgrade separately, but then that kind of makes the game a little bit more challenging, because then you're like, okay, well, like maybe I'll play this game more as like a mage instead of just using all my weapons and stuff. But yeah, it's a really cool concept. So like when you start off the game, you play up to like you play 3 levels, and then you go back to your warehouse, which is like your save point. So you go in there, you can upgrade all your stuff, and then you can teleport to the next level. And then if you if you go through every single level, which I think is like 5, then you get to a big boss level, and the boss level usually has like a bigger enemy, and then once you kill him, he drops a bunch of loot, and then you can collect it, and then you move on to a new act, which is completely different each time.
How often are the boss levels?
I think you go through 5 levels. So you go Act 1 has 5 chapters, and each chapter has like up to 4 levels in that chapter, and then you go to the warehouse, and then you go to the next chapter, and then once you get to the 5th chapter, that 5th chapter is the main boss.
So it's kind of like Super Mario, where like you go through the different worlds and you go to like the main boss kind of thing.
Yeah. It also like plays. I always go back to Doom because I grew up playing Doom 95.
Sounds very classic. Sounds very throwbacky.
I like all these throwback games. There's another one. What is it? Maximum Action on Steam.
Or even is it Medieval? Medieval?
There's a lot
like that.
The PlayStation
Strafe,
1 game?
Like,
No.
There's a lot of games.
There's another one that's on Steam right now that just got released, and it reminds me a lot more of Hexen. Yeah. The level creation in this game, like it's phenomenal. It's super cool. You could just tell that they worked really hard on it.
Is he using the engine that Doom is using, or no?
No, I don't know what engine he's using. It could be just his own.
Yeah, he may have made his own engine. If it's an all-in-one project kind of thing, and he knows it that well, it's very possible he wrote his own engine for it, which is totally doable.
This guy must be really smart and European or something like that.
Yeah, he's probably European. Europeans are the best.
Oh, Drake's sleeping.
Our dog is howling right now in his sleep.
Another thing though that I want to mention about the game is it's cool how they did this. So basically you get lives. So you start off with 5 lives. Jesus, Drake.
Sorry, it's not that bad. A little bit.
So you get 5 lives, and if you lose a life, you go back to your warehouse, you do whatever you need, and then you go back into level. But if let's say you're on level 2 or level 3, chapter 3, sorry, and you lose all your lives, you have to start from that act all the way to the beginning. And then the higher the level you go, I believe if you lose all your lives, you start all the way from the beginning of the game. But I could be wrong on that.
Okay, so it's roguelike, it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds pretty complex so far. I'm trying to make sense of it, but I think I would have to actually like see it and play it.
Yeah, it sounds complex, but it's once you just start playing it, you'll pick it up right away. You're like, okay.
So is he in beta, or is his final product?
No, it's fully released and everything on Steam.
What's the name of his company?
Buckshot Software.
Buckshot Software.
Another one manor like Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I believe because this game did so well, he was able to actually hire a bunch of other creators and stuff. So they're gonna make their next game. I could be wrong, but yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. Then you can take on more of a team lead role.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the next game I played, I forced myself to beat it all the way through. It's a really old game. Came out in 2005. It came out in 2005. It's called Ubersoldier.
All right, let's go back in time. How many years? God, that's like 14 years ago. John's here to talk about a game from 14 years ago, folks. So hold on.
I've been watching these videos like for the solid week, and I was like, okay, like I want to play this game. I need to play this game. Like people have said how bad it is. I just need to play it. So I finally found a copy of it online, and downloaded it, installed it. Yeah, man, it's fucking bad.
Well, tell us about it.
It's a generic first-person shooter. You could tell that it was when physics were really big back in 2005, where like every single game had physics in it, and they would show off every small detail. Like, oh, watch this barrel roll down this hill. Like, look how cool it is. Like, oh my god. It's like a World War II. The whole story is that it's during World War II, I believe. You get caught by the enemies. They turn you into a soldier that once you wake up, and the first person that talks to you can control your every move. Well, not control every move, but like they're your master. So whatever they tell you to do, you have to do whatever they do. Like, okay. But the first person that comes in is, I guess, from the rebels or whatever.
Nazis?
And the Nazis are in there.
Yeah.
And then you go through. I didn't really follow the story. Honestly, it's just like, it's all fucking weird. The voice acting is bad. It's the first thing that people said was like the voice acting is really bad, and it's true to their word. Like it looks bad.
Awful when I saw you playing.
It's so bad.
The colors are like so ugly.
The funny thing is this game is so old that it doesn't even reach, like, the resolution is like I think it's like, it doesn't go as high as 1920 by 1080, and like I'm using my 4K monitor, and so I had to figure out a way to actually make this game recognize my resolution. And what you had to do was you had to go into your config file, and then you had to do math. So you had to take like 1080 plus a certain number, times it by 1920, and then the number that you get, you have to add it to your config file, and then hope to God that the game would recognize it. So it was really, really weird.
Really? So for you to set the resolution of 1920 by 1080, from what it sounds like, oh wow, that's weird.
Yeah,
why couldn't you just? You can't just manually type in the values, like width is this number and height is this. Wow.
No, it's so weird. It's the first time that's ever happened to me. Whoever decided to do that fucked up hard, because I've never once went into a config file to change my resolution and had to do math to figure out, okay, this number is my resolution. It's really weird.
So you had to do like an original game resolution plus a number.
Yeah.
To make the one that you want. Oh, that's really stupid.
Yeah, it was really weird. And the whole reason why I wanted to play this game was because, well, first of all, everyone said how bad it was, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'll want to see how bad it is. But I also bought Ubersoldier 2 on Steam for like $2 during the Steam sale. So I'm like, I can't just play Ubersoldier 2. I need to play the first one.
One thing you gotta know about John, folks, is that he's a completionist. He'll play the worst games just for the sake of finishing them. Then he'll buy the sequel and do that. So.
Yep. But I heard the second one's a little bit better. A little bit better.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, he buys all the garbage PS3 games that are on sale at EB Games.
Fuck yeah, why not? It's for the collection, man.
Good.
The one thing though,
too.
Another thing too, I noticed in Ubersoldier was when you started the game. Oh my god, the sounds were so loud. Like when I first was using the machine gun, and I was like, okay, there's the enemy. Like I gotta kill him, and I shot my machine gun. It was so loud that I ripped my headphones off my head because it was distorting my ears. I was like, oh my god! And then even when you lower the sound, it seems like everything else goes quiet. Like the voice acting and everything goes quiet, but the sound of the guns basically never lower. They just stay the same. I was like, what the hell? So I'm like, I'm going through the game and I'm like killing a bunch of people, and the gun is like super loud and distorted. And then you have people trying to like tell me, what to do, and you just hear them muffling like, I'm like, I can't hear you. Like, it's really bad.
Great.
You should play it though. The ragdolls are amazing though.
Oh, as long as the ragdolls are amazing, that's all that counts.
Like when you shoot someone off a building, the game just like forces the ragdoll to just like they like throw them off the building. Like it's perfect. It's amazing.
Well, okay.
Yeah, we'll never be playing that game.
Lots to think about with Ubersoldier. Christina, what do you got for us?
Yes. So I had to order some stuff off Amazon, and I was like, you know what? Crash Team Racing on the Switch. It's $49.99. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to grab it. I want to try it. Immediately noticed it's really hard. Like, they have like easy, medium, hard. So I was playing on medium. Like, it says it's for like just, casual gamers who want a little of a challenge.
Lie.
Casual gamers
it's
like John?
Totally a lie. So I still haven't gotten first. I've put 6 or 8 hours into it, and I still haven't gotten first place. But I did unlock some stuff. I unlocked like a cart. I unlocked some like nitro wheels or something. But anyways, each thing that you unlock, it actually has like a little perk on the corner of the logo. And it's like either like +5 speed or better weapons and all this stuff. So pretty much Crash Team Racing is a remake of the previous games that were released, starting with Naughty Dog, who developed the original one in 1999 for the PS1. Or was it PS2?
Oh.
No, it's PS1. It's a classic. It's a classic.
And there's honestly not much of a difference graphics-wise. Like, still has the same cartoon artwork.
Are you talking about the remastered one of Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, the remaster. I find the graphics are kind of similar, and they use the same cartoon artwork for most of the characters. Obviously enhanced, like it's not 1999 graphics.
I think they're using.
Yeah.
I think they're using the same developers who did the Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The same developers that did the remasters of.
Well, it's published by Activision and developed by Beanox. And these guys are brand new. Yeah, Beanox? So Naughty Dog did the first one, and then Vicarious Visions in 2003, and then Radical Entertainment in 2005.
Did Beanox make the Spider-Man games?
Beanox made. No. Your Spider-Man games. Shit.
Yeah, you're right. Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and the second one.
Yeah,
Skylanders.
Beanox also made Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I'm pretty sure.
No, Modern Warfare remastered.
Oh, really?
Okay.
That one was alright until
Guitar Hero Smash Hits actually have that.
Huh. Okay. Man, that's crazy. I didn't realize Beanox was still making games. Well, like, good for them. Like, because they did the Spider-Man games, and
it looks good, honestly, and it plays really well. And like for a Switch game, it's perfect. I actually couldn't imagine myself playing it on anything else other than Switch. But it's very similar to Mario Kart, which everyone knows, but it has its differences that are worth getting. Like the characters, like it's just nostalgia, like playing Dr. What's his name, Cortex, and playing all the different female characters. Also the weapons, because in Mario Kart obviously they keep it PG, but you have like missiles in this. You have like shields that also like can hurt other players. Then you have like this floating like electric orb that you can throw, and then if you actually line it up with other players that are in front, it can catch them as well. They also have the Wumpa fruit, which
the what?
The Wumpa fruit.
I just like the way you said it.
Yeah, the Wumpa fruit. Yes.
Which I will talk about gets you the turbo boost. So I find this game very frustrating, and the drifting is not easy like Mario Kart. You have to like drift, and then when the bar is at a certain point, you have to switch to L. It's like it's L and R that you have to use.
You have to like go back and forth on the triggers,
so
right?
It's hard, and to time that properly. And honestly, there's not enough like big like curves that you can even drift on. So I just find it hard. And so basically they focus it and you have to keep playing the game to unlock the carts, which in that case you'll do better.
The game looks amazing.
I haven't played online though against people, so I might actually be able to get first. But playing the adventure mode, I haven't beat the CPU yet.
Yeah.
Do you think is the game? Do you think it's drawing in Mario Kart players with the expectation
100%,
that it's
and like a lot of kids, like who wouldn't want to like a character like that? Like it reminds me of like Tony the Tiger. Like it's a cool character, and kids love that.
Pulling in a lot of people, like the newcomers that like never heard of Crash Team Racing, and they're like, "Oh, it's a racing game. Like, let's buy it." And then also the people who are like nostalgic, who like grew up with CTR, nostalgia. And yeah,
nostalgia is a big selling point.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of older gamers. Like most gamers are like 30s plus. I think they had like a stat like that. Like, what's the average? Like 40.
For what?
Yeah, gaming is like the new sports in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
it's like
remember when
it's all ages now, especially Fortnite. That dropped a huge craze for people.
Fortnite. I won't even go there, but continue.
We don't talk about Fortnite.
All right. Anyways, last thing I just want to mention about Crash Team Racing. It's not for beginners.
And it's
like,
not for Mario
honestly,
Kart players?
I think maybe if you were playing with other people, like only playing local, like split screen and stuff, like you'll have a lot of fun with friends, like up to 4 players. But like if you're playing the adventure mode and then online, just be prepared to like, or just play on easy. Like I played on medium because I want a little bit of a challenge, but it seems like a lot of a challenge.
See, the thing about the difference between CTR and Mario Kart is play Mario Kart for like kids, you can also put like like helpers. So like there's 2 things that I usually use for like when my niece plays. So it's like it keeps you on the road. Handicap? Yeah, so like keeps you on the road. So you can't always drive off the road. It will just always like, keep you on the road, so you just keep on driving. And then also there's something else. I think there's one with like the gas. It just like it helps you out or something, like braking or something like that. Whereas like CTR doesn't have any of that. It's just like, all right, you bought the game, here you go. Like,
but it's nice though. Everyone wants a challenge, and
no, yeah, like I'm not complaining about it.
You're gonna want to keep playing it.
Yeah.
All right. So on to something not as cheerful is Wolfenstein II.
What? What's not cheerful?
Totally cheerful. Man, it's such a happy game.
The second installment by Bethesda, which is probably my second favorite company. And Nintendo, right? It's just a follow-up with Blazkowicz, his battle with the Nazis and for freedom. And he's got, was she pregnant at the end of the first one? I forget. I'm getting all the stories mixed. But his pregnant girlfriend, I don't think they're married.
You'd say what? Yeah, she was.
She's in the,
that's
what life is,
So they were like reunited, all that. So here comes the second one. They throw you in, like right in. I don't want to give away too much, but just the very start of it, you play about 20 minutes, I think, of just in a wheelchair. You're like shooting people in a wheelchair.
That's so cool.
A bunch of Nazi soldiers coming at you. Literally, you have to wheel while you're trying to shoot people. You can't obviously run really fast. You're at a disadvantage with height. It feels awkward, and especially if you're playing on a higher difficulty, it's really hard.
But that's the cool thing about... I had to
downgrade the difficulty.
The cool thing about that part, though, was that when you're in that... So every like Wolfenstein game, you're always just like ready to just go into the level, just kill a bunch of enemies, like, just go nuts. And the beginning of this game, they start you off in a wheelchair, which is the complete opposite. Yeah, which is amazing. And it's the complete opposite. Like you actually you don't feel as strong as like the first one, because you're in this wheelchair. You have to like put the gun down on your lap. You have to start wheeling down the hallways, and then when an enemy comes and you see the enemy, you have to pick up the gun and like start
slower to
them.
Pivot back and forth. You want to run away.
It's a cool level.
Cool. Like there's a part where you take your wheelchair up an escalator, and then you start getting dropped down the escalator as well, and it's thrilling, exciting. It's like a great like punch in your face. Here's Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah.
And literally more gore. Way more gore.
Good. The engine
they're
using.
Cutscenes. Oh my god! I was actually at one point. I don't want to give anything away, but like someone pukes in a cutscene, and then a bunch of other stuff, like people die, someone gets stabbed in the eye, but like it was actually like nauseating, like watching all these like very graphic stuff. At the same time, you're kind of like, yay, the Nazis are dying.
Oh my god, yeah. But like the cool thing about the Wolfenstein 2, you could tell that I believe they're using the same engine as Doom 2016.
Yeah, there.
Oh yeah, it feels even the movement, the melee kills, which I was gonna talk about. Like, there's new melee glory kills, which are even more graphic. It's so satisfying. Like, the number one thing that I love about Bethesda is that they really take their time with melee kills. They want people to enjoy it, and it's for the fans. And there's nothing more satisfying than going around and like meleeing and glory killing like 20 people in a row.
You know what's really cool? Bethesda didn't even make this game. They published it. You want to know who actually made it?
Oh, who made it?
Machine Gun Games, I think, or something like that.
Oh, really? I thought it was Bethesda.
Yeah, but they probably they licensed the engine to.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sure they have like some say in it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, that Wolfenstein 2, I like when you're talking about glory kills. My favorite one is you take your tomahawk, you swipe the guy's leg off, or both his legs off, and then he like is crawling, and you just like stab him in the head with the fucking tomahawk. It's just so over. It's just overdone.
I love it. They overdo everything.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's really nice that they're making games where you're a totally badass hero. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Speaking of going overboard, they increased the amount of weapons and things that you can do. They added like weapon packs you can find around the world, and then you can upgrade with weapon kits. And this year they added another gun that has another elemental component. I believe the fire gun. So they have these big like juggernaut guys that only I think was shooting like laser beams. And at this time they added you can actually throw like kind of explosive fire or something at enemies, and then they have where you can shock enemies as well and like kill them.
I don't even remember that in that game.
Yeah, so there's more elemental components to it, and then obviously they added fancy ass weapons, heavy weapons. The perking system is way better. I found they have extra content, which I was very surprised. Like, I finished the game, and then every captain or commander that you kill in each scene, you get Enigma codes. And you can use those to activate pretty much other captains around the world. So Manhattan, whatever other areas in North America.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your end game. So you go around and you continue basically killing a bunch of Nazis.
So you basically go back into the older levels, right? You go back into
the game, and you can travel to these different areas.
That's cool.
Oh, cool.
I didn't buy the DLC, so I'm not really sure what other story they added to it. But
yeah, I heard mixed.
I don't want to give away the ending, but I'm sure there's not much they can do with the DLC.
Did you play it on the hardest difficulty at all?
No, I started on Bring It On. I think that was hard. I think Bring It On would be like hard, and then I had to go bump it down to probably like medium.
The game's hard because like I played it on hard, and I almost changed the difficulty to normal, and I'm happy I didn't, because once I finally beat the level that I was at, I beat the game. But then the following difficulty after that is 20 times harder, and it's permadeath.
Yeah,
that's
like Doom.
Yeah, when you lose, you start the whole game over again. That game is hard. It's hard. I think it's harder than Doom. My opinion.
I'm the total opposite of you guys. I'm more of a I'm too young to die / very easy player.
You like casual gaming, like, and then it's good though, because you're enjoying the game. You can take your time, look for treasures.
I look at games more as like a technical showcase than actually a game.
No, I understand that. I started playing games now on normal because I just like
you're getting old, eh?
Just literally that, actually. I just don't have time, like a lot of time to play games, and I don't want to stick to one game and get stuck and be like, okay, well, fuck, what do I do, right? So I'm just playing on normal.
No more platinum games.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll still platinum games. If I'm playing on PS4, I'll still platinum them, even if it's on like the hardest difficulty. I'll still do it. Don't worry.
Even if it's the worst piece of shit game for $3 from Value Village. You're still gonna platinum it.
Yes, I definitely will.
And Tina will always play every game first on nightmare difficulty or whatever highest
Oh
difficulty.
God,
there
no,
is.
I would never.
Yeah,
I usually play
when you're playing
medium
World War
hard.
Z, we're like, why are we playing on? Here, let's just select the last one. We'll just try that.
Oh, okay. Well, you're
for
talking about
first or second time playing. Like, yeah, no problem.
group play. I'm all for it. I want to play on the hard difficulties because you're there for a challenge. You want to work as a team.
Yeah.
Speaking of World War Z, before Evan starts, they came out with Skull update or 6 skulls, I think.
Yeah. So what's that all about?
So basically, they're known for having like a wide range of difficulties. They decided to add the difficulty extreme. And with this difficulty, they basically are giving fans free content. So if you as a team or solo complete one level on extreme, you get to unlock the katana sword, which you can use. So that's a really cool component to it because then now you have something that you can melee a bunch more zombies.
Yeah, I was wondering when new melee stuff would show up because you can see the slots for it right in the game.
Yeah. And then if I don't know, I don't think we can do this, but if you as a team can beat all the levels on extreme, you unlock a sniper rifle that's like decked out to the nines. Like it's for the fans, like it's got cool skin on it. Speaking of skins, Evan, they added microtransactions.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's funny because last week we
You
were
called
just
it,
talking about
yeah.
that.
It was the only game, that wasn't tainted with microtransactions. It was a perfect game, and I loved it.
At least it's only weapon skins. It's not an advantage to like gameplay wise.
Even then, it's just microtransactions with skins. Like, come on, like it's just deal with what you're given, guys. Be resourceful. What happened to resourceful gaming?
They should have just gave free weapon skins, or you unlock it through the same
in-game
thing,
currency.
Yeah,
but they need the money.
that's true.
They need the money, Evan. They need your microtransaction.
If they want to keep doing free shit, I think they need to have weapon skins.
It's the economy, bro.
I want to buy a purple helmet.
The thing is you're gonna see a lot of games now with like free DLC. So like I know the new Call of Duty, I believe is gonna do free DLC. Like the Battlefield series is doing free DLC, but you're gonna be seeing way more microtransactions. But because of EA fucking that up with the Star Wars game, you're gonna see a lot more microtransactions that are like cosmetics. That's the only way they're gonna make their money.
Well, that's what most games do now anyway, is cosmetic stuff. Like nothing that actually changes the gameplay, which is, I guess it's fine because it keeps the playing level. It
sucks when they throw it in your face every time. Like Call of Duty, that's what they do. They just throw it in your face like, hey, yeah, like microtransactions. Or even EA. Like, it's just kind of annoying. I kind of want to just like go into a game, not see any advertisement for microtransactions, and just fucking play it.
But does it actually bother you though? It does not bother me whatsoever.
I've never bought a microtransaction at all, and it doesn't bother me. But at the same time, like,
it's just like immersion breaking, you know, like you're into the game and you feel like you're the character and shit like that, and you just play a nice match of Call of Duty, and then suddenly it's like, like I was thinking World War II just now, where you finish a match and you had the score and stuff. People are doing their stupid little fucking dances or whatever, and then a huge box, like boom, epic, and it's just like come on, man.
What was it? It was World War II that did like the huge, and people were all just opening up their loot boxes, like all around you, and then like another thing too that I noticed is like most games have like 3 different currencies. So I think like Mortal Kombat has coins, has souls, has these like time crystals, and like there's no way, like they mention it, like, no, we're not gonna be selling anything to be able to get like all those currencies. Like the only ones that we're gonna sell is like the time crystals, which I don't really know what they do. I think you could just buy like new cosmetics and all that stuff, but like that's another thing that you'll notice in games is like 4 different currencies. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all.
Anyway, we just hope for the future that it doesn't completely take over games, and that games will still be games rather than online stores on a disc. You know what I mean?
Just ignore it. It's gonna be there. They have to do it to survive.
Anyway, ooh. Freudian slip there. One game I surely hope does not have microtransactions, and one game that I have a lot of respect for and that I'm really looking forward to, Cyberpunk 2077. Picked up some news on that very recently. Release date of April 16th, 2020.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't freaking wait.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be sick. You can already
Everyone
pre-order
go
it.
watch the 46-minute gameplay from E3.
Is that out? Because I was looking for that. Like the new
Oh,
one?
yeah.
No. That's coming
The
out, I
one
believe,
from
in August.
E3.
Okay, yeah.
Last year's
So
E3.
They've released a bunch. Like, there's a lot of gameplay evidence for it.
yeah,
The one that you're talking about, Christina, the 43-minute one, is last year's E3.
yeah, that's right.
When
Anyway,
they showed off the alpha.
so
all right.
a new one has been created, but it's not out for the public yet. Really,
Yeah.
what happened is that demo was released to a few YouTubers and stuff like that. There was actually one dude I watched who reported on it. He played it. He showed whatever amount of footage he was allowed to show. So I guess I'll describe that a little bit.
I watched that. Yeah.
So basically, he explains what's going on. You can go through the demo and you can actually try out 2 different character builds. So the way the demo works is you kind of start off. Yeah, I believe you start off as like a stealth type build character, and so you have the ability to kind of go through the whole level as a stealth, and then whenever you finish the level, it like teleports you back in time to the beginning of the level, and then you can actually try like a run and gun type build. So it forces you to play through the game twice with 2 different style of characters. So that's
Sorry to
really cool.
interrupt, but for each one of those characters, can you choose male or female, or
It's male or female.
because they did show off that where you can do a lot of customization to your like gender characters.
For the demo, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they give you the option to do that.
Oh, not the demo, like I guess
Just
the
in game
game.
The
itself.
game, yes,
Oh,
yeah, you have the
Sure,
ability. There's
sure.
like they have like super deep customization for the characters. Yeah,
Ever since I've played Elder Scrolls, I'm like, I need to be able to change the shape of my eyebrow at all times.
yeah, it's the same as that. And actually, a new thing that was talked about too is that they revealed some much deeper level of customization. Like,
Yeah.
I'm for it. I spent an hour like creating my character on South Park. Like, I'm gonna do that for like big games like that.
oh hell yeah! Like they focus mainly, from what I understand, because we don't know much, but the character creation in this game is more based on like you pick a backstory, then you answer a bunch of personality questions and stuff, and it kind of like it'll throw you into one faction or another. So like one faction is like the street crew, and then another faction is like the corporate, like raised in riches kind of thing. But yeah, so that's how the character development comes from. The builds are different though. Like when talking with the stealth and gunner type builds, that's something I think you can actually change throughout the game as you go. Anyway, so in the demo, you get to try both, and when you're going through as each build, it's significantly different. It seems as though, the way the guy was describing it, that the game is designed for you to do a lot with stealth. Like, there's things you can do with stealth involve like hacking the equipment that's attached to the enemy and stuff, and interacting with stuff in the environment. And like, as we all know, the environment is like massive, and there's so much detail in the environment, it's insane. So
I wonder how much is interactive though, because
Yeah.
like some open world games, you can't go in legit every house. You can't go
Yeah.
into like every.
Yeah, oh yeah.
well, they all have
I think
limits
it's going
like
to be
that.
in every game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, so far, as far as the open world goes, this is the most detailed, sick looking one that I've seen.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
The cool thing about it too is there's a way. They said that you can actually go through the whole game without killing a person.
That's right. Yeah, that's one of the benefits of the stealth.
Using a DDR mat.
Oh, actually, you'll see Twitch streamers probably do something like that.
Yeah, or like a Twitch plays or whatever, where they just type in the movements.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically the gist of the demo is you go through and try out some mechanics. You go through it stealth. You go through it as a gunner. And there's one boss fight. It's one of the bosses that was actually featured in the old E3 footage. It's like a chick with a Gatling gun, and you're in the like a car garage or something, and you can drop the car.
Oh, yeah.
So that you get to play that. Yeah, but the coolest part that I've seen is that the stealth gameplay allows you to do the environmental hacking options. And so like maybe you'll hack into someone's suit and cause something to explode, or like open up a valve and like drop some stuff on them and kill them or whatever.
Can you like listen into like conversations that will help you?
I don't know about that.
Decipher the situation.
I think you can also hack into other enemies. Like if there's a certain enemy that has something on like their head or something, I think you can like hack into them.
Is it like Hitman, where if you kill someone, you can drag the body, you can change in the outfit?
Oh, that sure. I don't know. I'd have to. We have to see the demo, right? We don't know.
That would be cool if they added that component to it.
I feel like the game is going to be like heavily based on hacking though, because it is Cyberpunk, right? It's based on.
It would make sense though.
It totally enhanced people. Yeah.
But they should add where you can
drag
take
bodies.
Anyone's outfit. That's cool.
Yeah. So we're basically talking about Hitman at this point. Anyway, hopefully it's like Hitman. We'll see. But yeah.
Cyberpunk looks amazing. You hear the new song from him? From Refused?
Yeah, Refused came back and made a song for Cyberpunk. That's pretty cool. That's pretty sick.
That's cool that they released it like prior to the game coming out.
Yeah, so Refused is a band in real life that's acting as the in-game band called Samurai, from which I understand Keanu Reeves is the frontman of that band.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so Keanu Reeves will be the singer of Refused in the game world or something. I don't know. It's pretty dreamy if you ask me.
Keanu Reeves at E3 was hilarious. It's so awkward.
Oh, he's an awkward dude as a person. As an actor, no, but anyway, so one last thing about Cyberpunk. They just released news that the campaign is going to consist of 3 completely unique character storylines, which will be based on what you do, customize your character. Like, I said the questions you answer at the beginning will put you in a certain faction or something, and then each one of those factions has a storyline. So I
thought maybe it would be like...
So it's basically it could be replayable.
Yeah, so there are 3 endings to the game.
Wow.
But like the Witcher series had multiple endings as well. But the thing that they did was it depended on what you show, like certain things that you would say to certain people.
Yeah, so
and then everything would work out.
I've been reading an article saying that this is just a rumor for now, but that is not really a thing in this game. Like your choices don't affect. Storyline. Yeah, it doesn't affect the same way as like it does in The Witcher. But they did say that there's actually like there's like romantic options for the
threesome.
Yeah, so but they made a major point, the reporters of saying that there's no like moral decision making focus on Cyberpunk. Like it's basically just what happens and you just kind of see the effects as you make the choices. It's not like it affects the game later on and stuff.
I hate such hyped up games because like we're all making these theories, we're all like wondering. Like I just want to like know like what's
honestly,
going on.
Though, that's the cool thing
fun
about
to hype,
it.
Though. Yeah, I think it's fun.
It is. Yeah.
Well, then it can like actually disappoint you in some ways because you're expecting something because you've been hyped up so much. I really hope it's a good game. Like Crackdown 3 was so hyped, and I've been playing it, and it's okay.
You want to know a game that I was really on and it's shit? Watch Dogs.
The second one?
No, the first one.
Downgrades.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, that's another day for Ubisoft.
Yeah. So, moving right along, I have one last game to talk about, and then that'll be it for this week. Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah, that game's super old. You're making fun of me for playing Ubersoldier, and you're talking about Modern. Oh,
yes.
I see how.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare rebooted.
Remastered.
So anyway, they decided to reboot it. From what I've learned, you actually get to play as Price. So you actually play through as the same character, and they tried to make Price authentic in this game as well. Like all the decisions that he gets to do in the game are what you would expect Price to do, but it takes place in a whole different storyline, basically. So they were really trying with this game for a realistic, gritty, like natural feeling warfare experience. A big focus for whenever they were developing the game is they asked themselves like, okay, so we're about to redefine Modern Warfare both for our game franchise and for the world, basically, right? Many people learn about war through Call of Duty, and they get their vision of what war is through Call of Duty. So they were like, okay, so they made the game really like believable. So there's a lot of terrible shit that goes on in real life modern warfare, right? Like there's tons of civilian casualties. There's like wars can erupt in the street like suddenly, randomly out of nowhere, and just like totally shake you and everything. So they add a lot of those elements to the storyline. And actually, there's been reporters who talked about how the game is basically anchored on a moral gray area that you have to figure out as you go through the game.
Yeah,
so
that's
you're
right.
constantly like, oh, is this right? Is this wrong? Oh, I don't know. So the story has been actually reported as being controversial already, and the game isn't even out. So it's definitely, in today's political climate, I'm really excited to see how this game changes heads. And I'm excited to see that if it does offend anybody, if they stick with it, right? Exactly. If they stick with what they did in the game and what they wanted, because they want like a really real warfare experience.
You're gonna have a lot of people complaining about it.
Oh, yeah. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I'd rather see Modern Warfare 2.
What? No.
Like
I like that one.
A new Modern Warfare?
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2 and 3. I actually preferred those more.
Well, so this game might surprise you though, because Modern Warfare was about it being modern mainly, right?
Yeah.
They said like around the time when Modern Warfare 3 came out, they had to, at that point it was hypothetical. They had to create a universe in which like, okay, so all the nukes did go off and then like Russia won or whatever. So they had to really imagine a lot of it. So it became futuristic at that point. But like Modern Warfare 1 and 2, they were actually able to pull, like as their words is like they pull it off. They pulled the story from the headlines kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so the idea is that story-wise, it's going to be realistic. And how the gameplay mechanics lend to that as well is they said that they were totally overhauling all of the animations. So
which is amazing because they've been using the same animations for a long ass time.
Yeah, a really big deal, very recent headline, is they added the ability to reload while aiming down the sights.
Oh, really?
Which I want to know how that works, because I think there was a perk. Actually, no, there wasn't a perk.
You can already reload while sliding, can't you?
While sliding.
Sliding, but not aiming.
Yeah, aiming down sights. So what I imagine is you're looking down a scope and you can reload.
Yeah.
Which opens up a lot of really cool...
I don't know if they should add that, though.
Well, if they do...
It's going to make it even faster.
Not necessarily. I think if they do, that's a really tactical decision. Because the only situation in which you'd have to reload while aiming down the sights is if you're going slow and you're watching something, right? Because you can't really run while aiming down the sights while reloading. It just doesn't make any sense because you're going to bounce everywhere and blah, blah, blah. But
so the thing that I'm getting from this, if they make the multiplayer completely different, maybe kind of like Insurgency Sandstorm, where it's more realistic, you kind of have to like peek around the corners, like take your time. If they do everything in single player, like the way that you're saying, like if they do that in single player, it's amazing. I'll play it. Mm-hmm. But if the multiplayer is just, a tacked on thing that, they usually do, I'm out. They need to switch up that multiplayer, and I know a lot of people won't like it, but if they make it more realistic in multiplayer, it'd be amazing. Because I just can't see. Just imagine, running around and super fast, aiming down your sight, and just reloading. You know what I mean? Like
just ruining all the realism that they added to the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So, good news for you then, is they announced that there's going to be special co-op missions.
Sick.
So it sounds like super tactical, like the whole approach they're going for, and it kind of makes me think of Splinter Cell, like the way if you look at the gameplay footage and stuff, like it's super like SWAT, special operations, nighttime. You go in with night vision and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Army of Two?
Yeah, like
Army of Two.
Yeah. Well, Army of Two, you got to be plan it out and be careful and stuff, right? So
I
don't know. Like I'm thinking like it's gonna be like a really covert Navy SEAL operation type thing, which sounds very cool. And I don't remember Call of Duty doing that too well in the past, but we'll see.
It's the whole game that's remastered, like the story and the multiplayer, right?
Yeah, we don't know anything about the multiplayer yet.
It's not. Well, we know about the co-op missions. That's one thing they said for sure. But as for the multiplayer, it's probably just going to be.
Well, they have to release the multiplayer. I thought that's what they were releasing it for.
Oh yeah, no, they will release the multiplayer. Yeah.
But aside from that, it seems like it's going to be in my mind, it's going to be like a new stealth.
Another Call of Duty.
Honestly,
you'll buy and play for 1 week.
I'm honestly really excited for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually I'm not I'll get excited. I think I mentioned this in the first episode, but I don't really get that excited for the new Call of Duties. But like this one, I'm actually intrigued. Like I'm interested, and I really want to try it out.
It does. I hope they really go as far as they want to, and I hope they actually make a noticeable change to the game.
Yeah, same here.
They're noticing like they want to release nostalgic content for the fan on top of trying new things. Like their Blackout is still quite popular. Like I know quite a few people that still play it.
Oh, actually, talking about that, I also heard rumors that Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is going to have a 200-person
battle royale. Yeah, I heard about that. That's insane.
We'll
200 players.
We'll have to get a confirmation on
the
that.
map must be... you have to have a huge map or else people are killing each other like left, right, and center.
Yeah, supposedly the map would be a mixture of all the old levels. Kind of like what they said with Black Ops 4, but those levels don't look anything like the older levels.
I hope they tie it in more interestingly, because like
same.
Blackout now just looks like plastic fake grass, and everything's all
if
like
they release
happy.
one more Nuketown, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe it's a super tactical Nuketown at night. You need night vision goggles to see anything.
Oh my God.
Rambo style.
Forget about Nuketown. Literally, that level was fun a couple years ago. Now it's just so boring. That's every single time it pops up on the fucking queue. Everyone just votes for it, and then I'm the only one for the complete opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And we just played Nuketown for like 2 hours.
It's kind of like the perfect map. I think that's why it's so...
What is it? What's so perfect about it, though?
I think just the size, like position of the two houses. It kind of feels like you're...
It's annoying to me because it
each
requires
other.
almost no thought to play in that map. You're just like,
literally
run somewhere.
Because you've memorized it all.
No, I find it just too fast. There's no room to be tactical. And I like being tactical, so I'm looking forward to this new Modern Warfare.
Well, there's no stealth to it. You can't really snipe in that game. Oh, you could, but...
Yeah, you can. There's the one window.
It's not the same.
Someone is always in the one window.
It's like in actual like Modern Warfare, the original one. There was a level called Wet Work, which you were on like this ship at night, and the best thing you could hear was the grenades bouncing off the ground. It's like ding 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 ding. It's just 1,000 of them. That's how you got your kills in that level all the time. Mm-hmm. There's no point of going around killing people because you just get like 3 kills with a grenade. Like,
yeah. But anyway, we're hoping all these cool things come to Modern Warfare, and we hope that it becomes the game that I dream of it being. Same with Cyberpunk.
Oh
yeah, I'm excited for that. We'll keep updating you guys too on any news or videos that they release.
For sure.
Yeah, of course.
We're going to keep heavy tabs on these games and others coming up in the future.
For next week, folks, it's exciting. All 3 of us will be together in one room. For those of you that don't know, we're actually located in 2 different cities in Canada. One, Evan lives in Ottawa, and John and I live in Toronto. So we'll both be in Ottawa.
We'll post our addresses in the description.
I was just thinking that.
Anyway, all right, folks, that's all we have for this week. Stay tuned for us to be live next week.
Together,
filming. Yeah. I believe you're going to see our faces too. I think that's the arrangement.
Oh my God.
We'll see. We'll play some horror games, possibly. Mix it up.
We'll work that out. Anyway, next week is going to be super exciting. Stay tuned for it, and we will see you next week on the Plus 3 podcast.